So you inherited a house, and instead of it feeling like something good happened, you end up at the kitchen table doing math you never expected to be doing and trying to figure out how to keep it. So here's the first thing I want you to hear. You're probably not bad with money. The rules on that house just changed the day it became yours, and nobody told you. If your parents lived in their home and you inherited that home, they likely had a homestead exemption and they had these saver homes. That's the rule that caps how much their assessed value can climb each year. Live in a place 20, 30 years and the taxable value falls way behind what the house is actually worth today. Then ownership changes, and under Florida Statute 193.155, that house gets reassessed at full market value on January 1st of the following year. So the exemption, it expires. That cap expires, and neither one of those come with the house. It's the same house, the same street, but a brand new tax bill. And stick with me because that bill is not the expensive part. The expensive part is what people do in the first month after it shows up. Because here's the thing, it doesn't show up by itself. There's insurance, utilities on a place you might not even be living in, an HOA that won't talk to you because their records still have the name of somebody who passed away, and there's still a mortgage, and that mortgage doesn't care who died. Quick note here, I'm not an attorney and I'm not a CPA. So title, liens, probate, what you owe in taxes, you'll need an actual one of those. I'm telling you what I watched happen from the real estate side of it. And what I have watched is people carrying this for months without telling anybody, because somewhere in there, they decided it's their fault. And I'm here to tell you it's not. Nobody I've sat with in this spot made a bad decision. They got handed a situation and the bill came along with it. Here's what happens next. When the number gets big enough, you stop asking, what are my options? And you start asking, how do I get out of this and out of this fast? And that's a completely reasonable reaction. It's also the exact moment one option finds you before all of the others. You know it well, the cash offer, the "we buy houses" text, the letter in the mail, the ad that shows up the second you start searching. That's not a coincidence, it's targeting. Those companies buy ads against exactly this situation, and they're good at it. And we all have opinions about them. I've heard people call them vultures. The only offers I ever got were ridiculously lowball. Those are real quotes, and I'm not going to pretend I've never seen it happen. But I'm also not going to tell you that all cash offers are bad because I offer them, and for some people, they are generally the right answer. Here's the actual problem. It's not that the fast door is a bad door. It's that by the time most people get to it, it looks like it's the only one available. And it looks that way for a reason that has nothing to do with money. Everybody walks into this carrying a list of things you are sure you have to do before all of this can be over. And every single item on that list is doing the same job. It's a reason you can't take one of the other doors. I'd list it, but I'd have to fix it up first. And I don't have that kind of cash. Or I'd list it, but I can't have strangers walking through my mom's house. That's not a math problem, that's a list problem, and most of that list isn't even real. So the first thing I like to do is sort this out. I have 3 buckets, a required bucket, recommended bucket, and a rumored bucket. Required is the genuinely mandatory stuff. This is the legal, contractual things. It's a much shorter list than you actually think. Recommended is real advice, but it's not an obligation. And rumored is everything you pick up from TV, from a neighbor, from an ad. Let's take a moment and run through the real list. Have you ever said, I'd have to fix it up first, but out of my own pocket? Well, I put this in the rumored bucket because, and this is the expensive one, this is the one that takes listing off the table entirely. There are actually pay-at-close renovation programs. The work gets done, you don't write a single check up front, it actually comes out of the closing instead. So you do not need cash on hand to get a house ready to sell. Have you thought, so I have to sell as is? Well, also no. As is a choice. If you price it right, do nothing to it, you net a little less and be done. It's a real strategy, it's not defeat. Or have you thought, I'd have to do a lot of open houses. Well, this goes in the rumored bucket. A little secret here, open houses mostly benefit the agent. That's actually how many of us meet buyers who don't have anybody representing them yet. Open houses can actually help you, and sometimes I'll recommend one, but there's no rule anywhere that says your parents' house has to be open to the public on a Sunday afternoon. I've sold plenty of homes without doing a single open house. What about staging? I have to stage it. Well, this also goes into the rumored bucket. Digital staging exists. We photograph the rooms empty and furnish them in the photos, and we just have to disclose that it's virtually staged. Now, what if you're living in the property and you think, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to leave during all these showings? Well, that one's actually recommended. Buyers do talk more freely when you're not standing there, and that will help you, but required, no. All right, and here's the big one. I have to take the cash offer. Rumored as an obligation, real as an option. Those are two completely different things. So back to what I said at the top, the tax bill isn't the expensive part. This is because every one of those rumored items we just talked about was taking an option completely off the table. And the fewer options you think you have, the faster you're going to end up taking the first one somebody hands you. So I recommend cross the fake ones off and the whole picture changes. Now you're not trapped. The power's back in your hands. You are choosing. And here's the actual choice. Do you want the most money? Do you want the fastest exit? Or do you need the most certainty? Because no way of selling gives you the maximum of all three at the same time. That's a real decision. The list was never a decision. It was just noise that came with the house. I've watched people come through the fast door, look at what was actually on the table once we crossed off the stuff that was never true, and walk out through a completely different one in a much better position than the one they walked in with. And I want to be fair to the other side of it. Sometimes the fast door is exactly right. Everyone's situation is unique and different. Sometimes speed and certainty are worth way more to you than the last dollar. This was never cash offers are bad. It's that you can't know which door is yours until somebody shows you all of them. So if you're holding a house you inherited and the numbers are just not working for you, before you decide anything, I recommend you sort this list: required, recommended, and rumored. Almost everything stopping you right now is rumored. I put together a free walkthrough of every option you actually have in this spot. Simply the paths laid out plainly. It's linked in the description below. If you'd rather talk it through with me, that's down there too. No pressure. I just want you to know all of your options. You didn't choose this, but you've got more room than you think. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.